All right, welcome everybody to our Down and Dirty at 1:30. This is your host, Vashawn Borich, the Tough Mama from Team Tough, and I appreciate you being here on Tuesday instead of Monday. I'm looking kind of casual today. I'm playing catch up because on all last week I was in Orlando and I was going through an Internet Entrepreneur Mastermind. I actually was one of the speakers at the event. I was honored to do so, and I got to share online business strategies for over 60 people that were in the room at this conference. And then we also were live streaming. If you're not familiar with that, basically it's kind of what I'm doing now, but we were broadcasting the event for close to 1,000 from what I heard, paid subscribers to actually watch the event. So I really was honored, and it was a great experience. If you're watching this today and you have, you're not friends with me on Facebook, I encourage you to do so because I posted a bunch of photos. The place that we stayed was actually a mansion. I mean, I just can't believe it. I mean, it was a huge mansion. It was 15,000 square foot mansion, 10 bedrooms. And I'm not saying this to brag. It was just something that really just kind of threw me for a loop, when you get there and you realize, how fortunate that I am and all these other people who came were to be able to experience something on that scale. Because for me, just 2.5 years ago, I was, if you haven't heard my story, I was laid off from a corporate career, long-time corporate career. They laid me off, and then that same weekend, I also was served divorce papers from my husband. So, all of a sudden, here I was, a single mom with 2 little boys. I had full custody of the boys, and I still do, which is really nice. But here I was, and I didn't know where I was going to go. I didn't know what I was going to do. I didn't know how I was going to make a living, and I wanted to do something that would help my boys so that they could have a better life, and also to be able to help other moms and dads who want to have a great life for their children, but just don't know how they can do it and how they can work from home and be able to make an income doing that. So I'm happy to report that I'm doing that every day. I have been for the past 2 years, helping others just like you who's watching this so that you can transform your life into the life that you've always dreamed of. So that's what my goal is, and I'm looking forward to providing you with some value today. And our topic, in case you jumped on here and you're not sure where you are or why you're here, we have a topic every week. When I do these, I do them usually every Monday at 1:30 Central Time. Today's topic is the 5 biggest online business tips leading into 2016. And these are my 5 biggest takeaways that I got from the mastermind in Orlando. So I'm looking forward to sharing those with you. So go ahead, if you haven't yet logged in, log in into the chat window down below. Say hello so that I know you made it on. If you have questions or thoughts or just want to comment throughout my presentation, feel free. I will be checking that immediately after today's hangout. And if you want to stay on a few minutes, I'll actually answer any questions that you post there. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to flip my screen around. As usual, I've put together a presentation to just help us so that you can take good notes and get some great answers. You guys excited? I hope so. I love doing these. I don't know if you guys can tell, but I really love sharing what I've learned because I think it helps everybody. It's no good if it's just me, right? It's much more fun if you can benefit from something that I've learned and transform your life from there. All right, so the 5 biggest online business tips leading into 2016. Let's get going. All right, so today my goal is to help answer 5 questions. And these were questions that were kind of posed to me last week at this event. And the first question is, what is stopping you from success? I think a lot of times we all have things that stop us from being successful, or we believe or perceive them to be stopping us. So we're going to address that and help you to get over any blockages that are preventing you from leading a successful life. The second one is, what lead generation strategies are producing the best results? If you have a business or if you're in the process of starting one, or maybe you're even looking into joining my team, you really have to understand how to get emails, how to capture people's emails. because that's all part of generating leads. Leads are emails. It can also be capturing friends on Facebook. It's a way of capturing an audience where you can reach out to them and continue to share value, to educate, inspire, and convert those that are interested into sales. Okay, and that kind of leads right into the question number 3 is, would you like to close more sales? I know a lot of people go into business and they say, oh, I don't do sales, or I don't like doing sales. I don't want to do a business if I have to sell something. Well, I want to give you a little wake-up call here. Every single business in the world sells something. Okay, you have to sell something in order to be in business. Selling, it's everything. It's how you sell your products. It's how you sell your services. It's how you get your business out there. So, don't ever feel like you're not a salesperson. If you are an entrepreneur, you are always going to be selling. Even if you hire a sales staff, or if you have a sales staff for your business, you still have to sell in order to, not so much as, going out on your own, but you still have to promote your business. So we're going to talk about how you can do that and how you can be better at it, because that really is one of the keys in order to grow a successful business. And then the 4th, what is the quickest way to start generating online income? I'm going to add one word to that: now. Okay, so what's the quickest way to start generating online income now? Not yesterday, not tomorrow, but right now. So I'm going to share some things that I learned from Orlando on how to do that. And then the 5th, what can you do to position yourself for success in 2016? So I know that we're not quite there yet, but on the calendar, we're almost to November. That means there's only about 2 months left of the year, and a lot of those are holidays. So you really, now's the time to position yourself for the most successful year that you can possibly have for 2016. I'm going to teach you some things that I learned to help get that going, so that you'll start the year off with a bang instead of a stutter. All right. Okay, so let's press on here. Okay, so the first one, what is stopping you? And what really is stopping you from being successful right now? And I think this is a question that a lot of us ask because we get stuck. Maybe we joined a business, or maybe we started our own business, and we're just not having the level of success that we desire. And the question is, why not? Why aren't you having that success? What is preventing you from having that? So here are some things that I learned when I was in Orlando. A lot of people, the very first thing that they say, is what's stopping them from having success is that they don't have the money right now in order to, either buy a business, start a business, get the education to, enhance their business skills, or maybe they don't have the money to advertise, for example, because you have to be marketing and advertising your business. So before I give you the answer to some of these, I just want to go through all 3 of these. The second one is, I don't have the time. Maybe they just feel overworked. Maybe you already have a day job that you're working, and you're trying to build this business on the side. And so you're frustrated because you feel like, where's the time go? You just don't seem to have enough time in your day in order to accomplish the things that you'd like. So we're going to talk a little bit more about that. And then finally, maybe you're somebody that has a business and you're having just a little bit of success, but your breakthrough isn't happening right now. One of the most common things that I've heard some of the folks say is, my breakthrough is just around the corner. Like, they can feel it. They can feel that it's just about to happen. It's just around the corner. So I want to address that one, because that one's a really big one. And this one really hit me hard this past week. Okay, so let's go back to the top. When you say, I don't have the money, really what you're doing is you're giving yourself an excuse. You're giving yourself an excuse to not succeed. Because the truth is that we always can find a little bit of money. You may not have, massive amounts right now, but when you really, truly want to do something, you can find the money. Okay. And, oftentimes we start off small. I'll give you an example. When I first started this business, I didn't have a paycheck anymore. I was laid off. And I needed to advertise my business. So I looked at what I had for unemployment. I was able to collect some unemployment, and I had a small severance, and I knew it wasn't going to last very long. So I was really, really pinching pennies. So one of the things I did was I set a very low budget, and my budget was literally only $10 to advertise per month. And that's probably lower than is even recommended, but everybody can find at least $10 for the month. And with that, I was able to run some ads over the course of a few weeks, and they were just little $2 ads, and I ran them using Facebook pay-per-click. And from that, I got my first sale. I got my first all-in sale, actually. And if you're in the business that I'm in, that means that they bought all the products so that they could start their own business. So I mean, it was amazing to me that with just $10 investment of my marketing, that I was able to attract somebody like that. And so then what I did is, when you start having success, then what you do is you actually put that 10% of your money away that you're going to use then for marketing the next time. So that way you continually are building up income. I want to give you another tip in regards to money, because I hear this so often. People say, I just don't have the money to follow my dreams. Well, the truth is that most of us, we live beyond our means. I mean, let's be honest. We use credit cards. We maybe spend, buy things that we don't need. We have different services that are luxuries that we use. I mean, I don't want to cut anybody down here, but I don't have cable television or dish TV or anything like that. That was something I gave up immediately after the layoff, because I didn't need that monthly expense for a luxury of cable or satellite TV. And I thought, I would just turn it back on after my business started rolling. Well, the truth is I never did turn it back on, because I found after several months of not having it that I didn't waste as much time in front of the television. And I spent more time with my two sons. I wasn't spending as much time, just dead time sitting in front of a TV and watching movies. Now, every now and then, the boys and I will, go out to a movie or something like that. But we find that we get so much more done. We play family games, and we just have a ball together. And I think it's brought our family closer because we gave up that expense. So it's just some ideas, and I'm sure that there's other things that you might have where you could cut back and start saving that money. Now, here's the key, is when you cut back, you don't want to just spend that money right away on some other thing that's just frivolous. You want to save the money so that you can either A, help purchase a business, or B, actually start marketing your business effectively. And you can always scale up as you start producing income. So another thing I started doing, and I did a hangout on this, was I started putting 10% of every every income check that comes in, I would put 10% in a savings account. And so that money that's there is there to either help market. It's also there, if I need to buy educational products. And it's amazing how quickly that adds up. And most of us can live on less, 10% less than whatever we bring in. You'll learn how to do it. So I challenge you, if you really are saying, I don't have the money to do something, start putting away 10% of every single check that comes into your household. And if you have a spouse, talk to him or her about it and say, okay, going forward, we're automatically going to put this away, and put it somewhere that nobody can really get to it easily, because I know some people have trouble spending the money, but put it somewhere so they can't get, or they don't have trouble spending it, they have trouble saving it. Put it somewhere so that it's harder to get out, because once you start putting that money away, then you can't say, I don't have the money anymore, because you'll start to have an account that has a lot of money in it. And so then you can do the types of things that you want to do. All right, the second one is, I don't have the time. This one is a little more challenging, actually, I think, than the money, because we all are given the same amount of time in a day, right? We all have 24 hours. At least 8 of those should be spent sleeping, and 8 of them should be spent doing other things, such as eating and other things. So then you really only have 8 to 16 hours in which you can do something each day. So what I challenge you to do is to keep a record of how you really are spending your time. If you feel like you don't have the time and you're not, perhaps you're really burning the candle at both ends and you're not even getting enough sleep, then you need to really evaluate how you're managing your time. Okay? Because it's possible that what you're doing is you are squandering time in places that really are just burning it, and you don't need to be doing those types of activities. So I challenge you to write down, throughout the day, how long you do something. Like, let's say that you're surfing on the computer, write down the time that you start, the time that you stop. When you go to the bathroom, write down time you start, time you stop. I know it sounds silly, but you want to write down every single thing. When you're eating, the time that you start, from the time you prepare your food till the time that you're finished with dishes. Write it all down, and then look at the things that you absolutely have to do, such as eating, going to the bathroom, sleeping, and mark those off, because you need to have those obviously in your schedule. You need to have enough sleep. You cannot function at the top of your potential if you're not getting enough rest. And then look at the other things that are filling in the gaps and see what you can cut out or outsource to somebody else. Because if you're spending too much time on things that really aren't making you money at all, or making you happy, then those types of things need to be outsourced. And I did another hangout on this, so I'm not going to go super deep, but I want you to think about that. A lot of times the things that are stopping you are things that you can control. You're just too lazy to do it. Okay, I know that's tough, but that's why they call me the tough mama. But if you are doing things and you are not producing income, and you're not producing happiness in your life, or taking steps toward your dreams, then you're burning your life away. Stop doing that. Okay, stop it right now and get out there and make your life incredible. We aren't guaranteed tomorrow. None of us are, right? I know we talk about this a lot, but I don't know, for those of you who don't know me very well, I had cancer at one point. It was skin cancer, but it was melanoma. And it was then that I realized just how short life could be. If I would not have gotten the surgery and they wouldn't have got it all, I wouldn't be here talking to you today. Don't wait until it's too late. Like if you have some problem, or if you have cancer, or you have any type of terminal illness, or something happens to you in your life, don't wait for that to happen before you take control of your life. All right, so this is some tough talk, but I really want to see you experience the type of joy and happiness that you always were meant to achieve. All right, so here's the last one before we go. I hope I kind of gave you a hint here, but my breakthrough is just around the corner. I hear so many people say that, and when you say that, you are actually delaying your breakthrough for the future. If it's always around the corner, then you're never going to reach it. So I want you to change that. Stop saying my breakthrough is just around the corner, and instead say your breakthrough is now. It's right now. Okay? You are experiencing your breakthrough at this moment as I'm speaking to you. It is right now. So if that's you, if your breakthrough is right now, what types of things are you going to do now that you are your new person? Okay? When you all of a sudden believe that you are that person instead of thinking that it's coming, you will start making better decisions, better choices, and you literally will experience a better life because of it. Because truly, a breakthrough is often thought of as a life-changing moment, right? It's when your life all comes together and all of your dreams start happening. That breakthrough is right now. So decide immediately that your life has changed as of this moment in time, and you are stepping into the person that you're meant to be at this moment. And when you start doing that, you will, in fact, start experiencing a better life, because every day is your breakthrough. Every day you are experiencing a better life. Okay, so that really touched me in Orlando. There was a presentation. It was actually from Dave Wood, and he was talking about this, and all of a sudden I'm like, yeah, he's totally right. So often we delay our happiness because we think it's coming, it's in the future, but it was never meant to be in the future. Our happiness is meant to be right now. Our breakthrough, our better life is meant to be right now. And you're taking steps towards it as we speak. So think that way, and you'll have a much better year for 2016. All right, I've gone kind of deep on these, but these were the big ones for me. All right, so what strategies should you use? This is something else that I think we all believe when we have our own business, is that there's some secret strategy that we should be using in order to have success. Because perhaps you see other people that are having incredible success in their business. The financial success, they're growing, they're getting customers, they're seeing the type of life that you want right now. Well, what are the strategies that you should be using? So let me help you out. Well, the strategy you should use is the one that you can commit to. So here's what I see. I see that somebody's having success, and let's just take Instagram, for example. Instagram is something that a lot of people are using right now. It's really popular. And so therefore, a lot of people are jumping into Instagram at this moment in time because they see it as something that is having success. Well, sure, it's having success for those people who have been using it actively, and it can have success for you as well. But the truth of the matter is, any of the social marketing strategies or sales strategies that you use and commit to mastery are going to work for you. The problem is that you start doing something. Maybe you start with Facebook pay-per-click, PPC. If you start doing that and then you don't have success, and then you just say, oh, well, it's not working, and then you stop, and then you say, well, I'm going to switch to Twitter. And then you start doing it and you're not having success for, maybe you only tried it for like a month or two, and then you quit that, and then you try Instagram. So if you keep bouncing around to all of these different options, you're never going to have success because you're not mastering the strategy that you started with. So stop doing that, right? Choose one strategy, just one. And I listed the most popular ones right here. You've got YouTube. These are video strategies. There's pay-per-click through Facebook. There's Twitter, of course, Instagram, we talked of, Pinterest, LinkedIn, Periscope, which is a Twitter product. It's a video product. And then, of course, blogging. These are some of the most popular ones that are out there for generating customers and leads. So stop bouncing around. Pick one of these. Doesn't matter which one. Pick one that you like to do and do it. Can you do that for me? I hope so, because everybody that I spoke of, and I spoke to a lot of 6-7 figure earners in Orlando. Yeah, that's $100,000 a year or more earners in Orlando. I spoke to them, and every leader that I spoke to, that's what they said. They said, pick one strategy and become a master at it. How do you become a master? You learn every possible thing you can about it. And it takes about 10,000 hours to become a master in any subject. Okay, so I want you to consider that. And you're not too old or too young to become a master in anything. I was on the airplane coming back. I was listening to an audiobook, and in the audiobook, they were talking about a woman who is in her 90s, or she just turned 90 or something like that. And for the past 10 years, she suddenly had an interest in studying the archaeology of the Middle East. So she started studying and reading books about, I don't even think I can say it right, Mesopotamia. I don't know if I butchered that, but she was reading about that, and she just kept reading every single thing that she could and learning about archaeology and history and things like that. And now here she is, 90 years old, 10 years later, and she is considered an expert in that field. So, and she does very well for herself, and people come to her from all over the world, and she goes on archaeological digs and things like that, all because she had an interest in learning. I just love that story. So I want to challenge you to choose one of these strategies that you can commit to. And when you choose one, learn everything about it. Don't get sidetracked. Don't go off and say, oh, well, somebody else is having success in one of these other ones, so maybe I should switch. Stop doing that. Just pick one, focus on it, go into your back office. And if you're in my business, we have a back office that has training in every single one of these. Go in and look up the training classes for every one of these and just go through those. So you don't, doesn't mean you have to go in order, just skip around and find, like if you're going to do YouTube, for example, find all of the trainings for YouTube. If you own a product that we have called the Unstoppable Dream, there is some great training in there for YouTube. And I went through it, and it's definitely changed me. I've got a lot of my videos are producing daily leads for me. A lot of them. In fact, I got a sale just the other day because of a YouTube video. So I challenge you to pick a strategy that you like, learn everything you can about it, and focus on that. You can always add some of these other strategies once that one is becoming, it's working for you. Once it's working for you, now you're ready to go to another strategy. I hope this really helps you, because so many people get stuck on that and they're just constantly bouncing around and they're never having the level of success that they desire. All right, so let's go into the next one. This was another training class that I went through in Orlando, and that was how to close more sales. So I think a lot of times we start getting leads. We get a whole bunch of emails that start coming into our autoresponder account, which is a fancy word for an email marketing bucket. So you have the capability to start getting emails, but then you're like, well, gosh, I'm not making any sales. Well, I want you to keep something in mind. It takes, on average, 7 touch points, so 7 contacts with that person before they even consider buying from you, right? So if you're not emailing somebody, everybody that comes to your list, at least 7 times, over the course of several weeks, then you are losing out on actually selling them something, because they don't know you. People buy from who they know. So I challenge you to make sure, even if you only have 1 person on your lead list right now, start emailing them, and email them. What should you email them? You should email them valuable content, things that are going to improve their life and help them out. So let me help you here. Here are some questions. So you should start asking questions in order to be successful. Let me just double check. I didn't get everything mixed up. No. Yeah, you should start asking questions. So, one of the questions that I like to ask people, and I'll do this via email, or if I have a messenger, if they're friends on Facebook, I'll ask them through Messenger, or I'll jump on the phone with them and ask them questions and get to know them better. So here's some good questions, like, what do you want to achieve in your life? What are your dreams? What are some things that you would really like to do? And listen, really listen to them. And what you're listening for are pain points. What are the things that are preventing them from achieving the lifestyle they desire? And listen to those pain points, write them down if you can. If you're just talking on the phone, then you can probably write them down. If you're in person, then you just keep them in mind. And then when you get away from them, try to write them down and make a note of them, so that you can think about how could you solve those pain points. So, offer solutions. That's really the key. If you want to close people's sales, it's not about selling them. It's about truly listening to them and offering solutions to their pain. Okay, I'm going to give you an example here now. This was kind of the next part. So I'm going to flip it around for this so you can see me. Hopefully we're all still here. Hey, there we are. Okay, so these are some examples of things you can ask and how you would respond, because I'm a coach. If you are in business, then you are a coach or a mentor for somebody new that's coming in. You are a leader. If you own a business, you are a leader. So you should start thinking of yourself in that way. Even if you don't know much about the business, maybe you just started your own business, you are still ahead of the beginner. So start thinking of yourself as a leader, and start positioning yourself as somebody that they can get, that they can trust in, and that they can get information on how to get started. So one of the questions that a lot of people ask, when you're talking to them, you ask them, let me back up. You might ask them, what type of income are you wanting to generate from your new business? Well, a lot of people want to earn, $5,000 to $10,000 a month. That's, in between $5,000 to $10,000 a month is what most people want to start making. Some more, some less, but that's an average. Okay, but they don't want to invest in their education in order to start achieving that. Do you understand? So they want to get in for, the lowest possible amount and just own the basic products and make $10,000 a month. So, you listen to that, and then you might ask them, or you might say, and I have some notes here so I wouldn't forget, are you serious about making $10,000 per month? And, they'll come back and, they'll say yes, of course, I want to make $10,000 a month. And then you say, well, are you sure? Are you really serious about this? Are you, truthful that you really want to make $10,000 a month? And at this point, they're going to say, yes, I am positive that I want to make $10,000 a month. I wouldn't have said it if I wasn't, right? I mean, you don't want to annoy them, but you want to make sure that they are committed to really making that amount. So, I mean, the next question is, are you committed to do what it takes to make that amount of money? And what's going to happen is they're going to either say, well, yes or no. Well, most of them are going to say yes. And when they say yes, you say, well, the good news is that I can help you achieve that. Okay. And they're like, okay. And I said, well, there's not really any bad news, but I can help you achieve this. But the key is that you have to be willing to do what it takes to make that. Are you going to listen to somebody who can get you to $10,000 a month, or are you going to do it your own way? And usually that kind of makes them think, okay, well, I would rather listen to somebody who can teach me how to get there rather than do it my own way. So then you say, okay, well, if you want to make $10,000 a month and you really are willing to listen to somebody who can help you make $10,000 a month, then here's what you need to do. You need to buy all the products, get all in, and follow the step-by-step instructions that I give you. And so then they might come back with something along the lines, well, I don't have the money. Or, I don't really want to do that. I don't feel like I can do the business. And that's okay. Then what you say, like if they come back and they say, I don't have the money, then you say, that's okay. Come back to me when you do. Okay. So, there's no point in you trying to convince them to go and get them more money to do it if they don't have it. And I only want to help people that are serious, because if they're serious, then they're going to do whatever it takes in order to make that kind of money. If they're not serious, they're not going to, it doesn't matter what you do or how you try to sell them, they're not going to do it. So, it kind of takes them aback if you tell them, okay, that's fine, come back to me when you do have the money. Because then they realize that you do have a plan. You can help get them. Sorry, I just threw my pen. That was funny. You can help get them to $10,000 a month, but the issue is that they aren't willing to take the step to get there. Okay, so here's some other things. They might say, well, I don't want to spend the money, but I just want to try this. I just want to try, the basic product. So, a lot of people say they just want to come in at the very basic level. I think it's, like $25. Actually, there's even a smaller one. It's like $7 to do the trial package. Okay, so let's follow this logic, shall we? So if they just want to try it, but they want to make $10,000 a month, that's kind of like checking to see if this thing works. So then you ask them, okay, because usually they just want to try it because they want to see if it works, right? So then you ask them, okay, so how are you going to test this to see if it works if you're only coming at the basic level? And they'll say, well, I'll make some sales, and then once I make some sales, then I'll know it works. Well, how are you going to make some sales if you don't have all the products that teach you how you can do this business and make sales? Well, I don't know, is probably what they'll say. Well, that's kind of the point here, is that, if you only have the very minimum amount of products, how are you actually going to make the type of income that you want if you don't have all the training to get there? And plus, if you don't have all the products, you can't make the type of income, because we sell the products that we own. We sell the educational software that we own. So how are you going to actually make the kind of money that you want and see if it works if you don't even own the products that you can sell? Kind of makes you think, doesn't it? So, the products teach you how to be successful in online marketing. And if you don't have them, then you're not going to be able to test it and see if it works. So that's something else. And then here's what will probably happen at some point. You'll get somebody that'll say, oh, well, this sounds like such a scam. Well, that's okay. If they come back to you and you say that, and you say, okay, well, if it's a scam, why are there, a number of people, and you can look at our income disclosure. It's income.teamtough.com to get more information, but it'll show you, people are making a lot of money in this business, okay? A lot of money. And I have met people, I have made money myself. We all are doing well, those of us that are committed. Now, obviously, see income disclosure. Our results are not typical. I can't make bold claims because not everybody is going to do what we say. So I hope that you realize that anytime you go into business, not just this one, that you have to make the commitment in order to have success. So when somebody comes back and says it's a scam, you say, okay, well, what are you going to do to prove that it's a scam? How can you prove that it's a scam? Oh, well, you can't make money at this, or you're ripping people off. Okay, well, I just told you there are people that are making money in the business. Okay, so if there are more than me making money in this business and having success, then you just made that false because you just said that you don't think people are going to make money with this. Well, they are ripping people off. Well, tell me this: is it a rip off if you are improving your education, and not only are you able to make money in this, but you can use that same education to make money in any business that you own? And there's many people who are doing that. Is it a ripoff if your return on investment is hundreds of times greater than the investment? Well, I don't think so. And then the other thing you might compare it to is if they just want to get back into it, or maybe they're like, well, I don't really know how to tell if it's a scam. You say, well, let's compare this to college. Let's say that you wanted to just test college. So you came in and you said, okay, I'm going to go to college for a month, and then I just want to test it out, see if this works, and I'm able to get a job. After a month, if I'm not able to get a job with my education, then it's a scam, or it's it doesn't work. College doesn't work. That's an interesting comparison, isn't it? Because everybody knows that when you go to college, you're going to be there for at least 4 years in order to get a degree. And even after you get a degree, there's no guarantees that you're going to get a job, but at least you'll be qualified enough to apply for certain jobs depending on your field of study, right? So why don't they call college a scam? Why don't they test that out? Because that's not the way it works. Well, it's the same thing with our businesses, right? If they want to have success, if you want to have success, you have to be fully invested, have all the products, and actually use the products in order to start building an income. So I thought that was really great. Those are some great sales tips that I learned while I was out in Orlando. And it really made me think, it's so true. We get those questions so often and we don't know how to respond. All right, I'm going to flip it back around because I had just a few more slides. Here it goes. Okay, all right, so what is the quickest way to generate income? This was another question that we had. The quickest way. Well, the first is have great products or solutions that solve pain points. So when you're talking with somebody or emailing them, you should be talking about solutions, things that were able to solve problems that you might have had or that they might currently have. And if you don't have great products, the cool thing is the business that I'm in actually offers educational products that help you sell and help you grow a business. So to me, it's like a win-win. You may not know exactly how to put together a business. In this business, you actually have all the products that show you, number one, how to put together your business, and number two, it gives you products that you can sell and market in order to make income. And all of those products offer solutions to solve pain points, such as one of the pain points that a lot of us as parents have is the ability to stay home with our children, or the ability to have more time in our life so that we can go and do things during the day. How many of you have ever had to have somebody come to your house and fix your air conditioner or fix your washing machine or something like that? I bet you there's a lot of you that had. And what do they usually say? They usually come on and they say, I'll be there between 9 a.m. and 3 p.m. Some long amount of time. And if you work for somebody else, you can't just run over and sit at your house for that entire time waiting for the repair person to come to your home. So this is one of the joys. We actually, and the reason I bring this up, we actually have something going on with our dishwasher. And so we've got somebody coming out today, and they're like, well, we'll be there. And that was exactly what they told me, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. They'll be there somewhere within that time. And I said, no problem. I'm here all day. Wouldn't that be nice to be able to say that and know that it's no big deal? You work out of your home and you're available if something like that happens. So that to me was a pain point that's instantly resolved. So think about that and tell stories just like I told you. And that's a great way to start helping people to want to buy from you, because they, number one, they get to know you through your storytelling. And number two, they get to know your products, because in this case, our product allows you to work from home or anywhere for that matter, so that you can build your business around your life instead of your life around your business. All right, the third way to generate income is to market yourself daily. You may have a business, but how many of you are actually doing income producing activities that are getting eyeballs on your business? Are you out there running ads on a regular basis? Are you posting, if you're doing YouTube, are you posting at least 2 videos per day? If you're doing Instagram, are you posting at least 4 times per day? And are you friending and liking people at least 10 times per day? Probably not. I mean, those are just a few of the different strategies. So whatever strategy you choose, you have to do the minimum, ideally the maximum, in order to make that strategy work for you. So, and that requires marketing and knowing the steps or action steps to take so that you're getting eyeballs on your business. And that's how you start making sales. Okay, and then finally, if you want to generate income, as you start getting emails, email your list. I know I've gotten on just about everybody's list that I can that I know is successful. And on average, I get a minimum of 3 emails per week from those folks. Now, for those that aren't successful, I've gotten on a few people's lists that are just starting out, or maybe they've been in the business a while, but they aren't generating success. And those people, I rarely get an email from. And I mean, I find it funny. I say, wow, it's right here. The proof is in the pudding. Those that are having success email me all the time. And those that don't, I maybe get an email, once a week, if that. Sometimes it's like once a month I'll get an email from somebody, that's not having success in their business. So start emailing your list, even if you only have 1 person there. And I guarantee you, if you keep doing this on a regular basis, you're going to start to generate income very quickly. Quickly being within 30 days and possibly even 90 days, depending on if you're working this full-time or part-time. So that's quick. Most businesses, it takes them 2 years before they even have income. In an online business, you could literally do it in 30 to 90 days. All right, so let's go to the next thing. So how do you position yourself for success in 2016? So like I said earlier in this hangout, 2016 is just around the corner. Now is the time to plan for your 2016, because if you are not planning, you're not going to have success. You have to plan to succeed. So number 1, you should have a mentor or a coach. Every successful person, no matter what the business, has somebody that mentors them or coaches them for success. So you need to have somebody that's already successful in the business to be mentoring you or coaching you. I actually do that. I coach people. In fact, I've been doing a group coaching call. We just started that the week before last, because last week I was out of town, and we're having our next coaching call on Wednesday. There's still room for a few more people. If you'd like to be a part of that, just shoot me an email and say, yeah, I'd like to be a part of your group coaching, and I'll get you the information. And it's great. It lasts for 10 weeks. It ends on December 30th. And at the end of the 10-week program, oh, by the way, every one of those is recorded. So every one of our group coaching sessions is recorded. So you can go back and look at the first one that you missed. But every one of those at the end of the 10-week session is going to help lead you to success for 2016. and help you plan out your business and your life so that you can achieve what you set out to achieve in your business and life. So I'm really, really excited. The people that are on it are just doing a fabulous job. I've gotten a few emails from the ones that I'm coaching. Thank you for those that have sent it to me. That basically they've gone through part 1 of our training workbook that I gave out to help them step by step to reach their goals. All right, so the second thing you should do is become a master at one lead generation strategy. So if you want to have success in 2016, right now, as the holidays are about to begin, start learning one strategy really, really well. Okay, and there are, like I said, there's a lot of training modules that we have within our business that walks you through exactly how to do it. We had a fabulous Instagram training session out in Orlando. I mean, really good. Justin Holland led it up, and I mean, it was amazing. He did such a fabulous job, and I learned so many things that I didn't even know about Instagram. And so if Instagram is a strategy that you want to do, I can point you to where that training is and how you can get access to it. You just got to reach out. Don't be afraid to reach out and learn new things so that you can have success. And then the third thing is consistently taking action every day. I want to share something with you. I was having a talk with Phil Wilson. I don't know if you guys know who he is. If you are in the tribe with me, then you've probably heard of him or met him. He was in Orlando, and he's just a young guy. He's a former construction worker. He's from New Zealand, and he's just really a good guy. I'm always happy, go lucky. I just love his personality. Anyhow, we were sitting down at the dinner table or kitchen table. We were just chatting, and I asked him point blank, I said, Phil, I said, he's done really well, by the way, in his business. I said, Phil, you travel all the time. He's been to 17 countries in 1 year, okay? And that's what he wanted to do. That was one of the reasons he got into this business. And I said, what did you do in order to be able to do that, in order to earn the income that you need? And he looked me in the eye, and you know what he said? He said, I took action like my life depended on it. And he started his business in December, okay? So and this was December of last year. He started his business then, and he just went to town, and his strategy was at first Facebook pay-per-click, but now he's doing full-time with Instagram. And he just focused all of his energy on that entire month of December. And do you know that his actions that he took in December are still producing results for him every day? So he was consistent, he took action, and then what he did was he automated the system that he used during the month of December in order to continue to have success while he traveled. And I thought that was really good advice, because how many of us really take action like our life depends on it? He felt in his head, he told me he felt in his head that this was his only way to do it. This was, he'd burned his bridge, he left the construction business, quit his job, and was going to do this business, this internet marketing business, full time. And so he decided, I'm going to work this thing day and night for 30 days and make this happen. And that's exactly what he did. So, I challenge you, if you're complacent where you are, or you're not having success, I bet you anything you aren't taking action every day, and that you definitely aren't working your business like your life depends on it. Now, do you have to work like your life depends on it the entire time? No, you don't. But you do have to jumpstart your business. And once you jumpstart it and really get it rocking, what's going to happen is your success, your results are going to snowball and bring you more success. Because people will take note when they see you making sales every day. When they see those sales, they're going to say, wow, what is she doing? Or what is he doing? And then those people are going to want to be a part of your team and continue to grow. So really great conversation with Phil. And Phil, if you're watching this, I just want to shout out to you. Really, you impressed me with your conversation, and I enjoyed, spending some time getting to know you better over the past week. All right, then the last one is create a 12-month plan. All right, so this is something that we did all last week. And what we did was, this was by prompting of Rhonda Swan, who's one of our tribe members. We had a big piece of paper. It's like a half a sheet of poster board. And we split it up into 12 months, starting with November being the first month. And we wrote in each box exactly the actions that we were going to take throughout the year in order to grow our business. So we selected topics for each month, and we selected areas in which we needed help in our business. We wrote down goals that we had for each of those months. We put down, certain holidays, and we looked at opportunities that those holidays would give us based on what people were doing, so that we could market to them that way. We thought about pain points that people have that are related to us. So whatever business you're in, you know that there are certain pain points that people that come to you have. So we wrote down all those pain points in each month, and so we decided to focus on one pain point per month. So these are just ideas, but at the end of putting together our 12-month plan, it gave you this driving focus, because you knew exactly what you were going to work on for the month of November and December and January and all throughout the year. So I challenge you to put together a 12-month plan. If you aren't sure how to go about it, or you're uncertain, then that's where having a mentor or coach really comes into play. And you're welcome to reach out to me. I would be happy to coach you on how I put mine together. I don't think there's any set plan, but I feel like I got mine down pretty well. So I'd be happy to help you so that you can have success in 2016. So the last thing I want to say is, here's just kind of a summary of what I did, or what I talked about today on this Hangout, is work consistently. In other words, work like your life depends on it, like I mentioned with the conversation with Phil, and don't have any excuses. So work consistently like your life depends on it, without any excuses. Everyone can make excuses. Don't be mediocrity. Okay, there's so many people that lead mediocre lives. They never achieve their dreams. They just stuck. They're stuck in an endless cycle of pain. Don't be that person. Work consistently like your life depends on it. Stop making excuses. Find a mentor that can help you get over your pain points, and make 2016 the best year of your life. All right, so I hope this motivated you. I hope it got you excited. As always, if you have questions, comment down below. I'm going to go ahead and end the presentation. I'm going to jump into the chat and answer any questions you have. Hope to talk to you soon. Make it a great day. Take care.